Hi, I'm Harshini Busireddy, and I had to do something difficult, something that took a lot of courage, and I wanted to share it with you. Not as my usual, or my voice reflection, but more so as a witness. Because we live in a world that loves showing what living looks like, but not what makes it possible. And I wanted to share this moment, not of perfection, but of process. Because how we close chapters matters. And how we hold conflicting truths matters. And how we take care of ourselves in that work matters the most. And here is the moment when I set a boundary, my final boundary in a relationship, the hardest one to do. This does have moments of raw truth and moments where I talk about lived trauma, not in graphic detail, but to set context. Yet, it doesn't reduce the fact that it is about trauma and it is raw. And as I always want to make sure you are taking care of yourself while listening, because your safety matters and you matter. And I hope you listen to this not only as a witness, but as someone who can see that love doesn't always mean presence, and love can take many shapes. And when harm enters a relationship, and you ever notice a moment where you need to protect yourself, you need to take care of yourself, I hope this gives you a moment of, I'm not alone. If Harshini could do it, I could too. Because that's the reality of it. Life brings us many circumstances, and some of those are the most difficult. Not because of anything else, but the fact that there are two conflicting truths that make it impossible to not lose ourselves within it. And I am showing you what makes my life, what the work within to build a life actually looks like, because I am not perfect. I am not a performer. I am a presence. I am a human being just like you are. And if I am able to lay a boundary and close a chapter with gentleness and integrity, so can you. Here it goes. Take care. Hi, I'm Harshini Busireddy, and I'm here today right now recording what I'm recording, not because I wanted to, it's not something I wanted to talk about, it's not something I should have had to carry right now. And here I am. And you'll see my dog, you'll see my cat probably, you'll see my life moving around me. And here I'm trying to pause so that I can name what I'm handling and I am not able to handle and what I'm dealing with. I am trying to build a life of my own. Life of safety, sustainability, just life with less pain, distress, and suffering, which have been the baseline for me all my life. I'm trying to build one for myself. And when relationships start tugging, when people start tugging at the boundaries of my life that I've worked so hard to lay in the first place, I am left with no choice but to make things significantly harder and go through incredibly horrible pain while I do it. So here I am, laying it out. And I'm not here trying to be perfect. I'm not here trying to do the right thing, because I don't know what the right thing is in this situation. I'm trying to do what I know and my body knows is the safest thing for me to do right now. And thank you for holding that with me. The relationship I'm talking about is my mom. She loves me, and her way of love suffocates and harms me. And I love her, and I also know she's harmful to me. She's not a bad person. She's harmful for my body due to my trauma. And I'm going to name two truths here. Two truths that might sound incredibly conflicting, incredibly contrasting, portray completely different sides, whatever that might be. They're those two truths. They're both standing right next to each other, none bigger than the other. They're both truth. And doesn't matter who writes what version and wherever, I need those two truths named. And that's what I'm doing here. Truth number one. My dad abandoned us when I was 8. And since then, my mom took me into care, raised me, and regardless of societal pressure and family pressure to get me into work or send me as a maid or whatever, she said she is bright, she is smart, I want her to be educated. And she did. She worked hard. And she, every time anybody said, you can't, she wanted to prove them wrong. And she did. She worked hard, incredibly hard. And I've seen those days. I've seen those nights. I've seen the hard work. And she got me education. I graduated with a master's in computer science, bachelor's in computer science in India, and then with the support of one cousin who respected her so much and saw her struggle raising me, decided to, support me and encourage me to apply for master's in the United States, and I did. And I graduated with a master's in computer science in United States. And I've built a life here. And part of it is because of her. If she did not fight for my education, I wouldn't have been here. I wouldn't have been in a place where I'm able to find safety. And I'm grateful for her. I really am. And that's the reason why I also do know how difficult it is to be doing this, because I love her. And I know that she has done a lot to keep getting to a point. All she wanted, I remember this, all she wanted was to make sure that she was never disrespected. And she built a life where she didn't have to fight for respect. And she was not underestimated. That was all she was fighting for. And I've seen it. I've seen the hardships she faced. I've seen the hardship that came from people whistling at her when I was like 9 years old, walking with her. I remember the underestimation from my own family members that came, and a lot of things, abandonment that came from her own family. I've seen all of that. I know all of that. And I'm incredibly proud of a woman that is so determined and who works so hard to get to, in hopes of getting to a life. And her only thread was, if I got to a better life, I could give her a better life. And I know she loves me. And that is a truth. I know there's one of the reasons I'm here right now in this moment talking from my own home my own home is because of her and her hard work. That's one truth. Now, the second one. Here's the second truth. I was harmed. My mom, as hard as she worked, she had no one else. I was her only support. I was her only presence next to her, and she didn't have any way to let her frustrations out, and I was the only one, and therefore I took the harm. I was her punching bag. I was her football. I was her everything. Truly everything. I was her friend. I was her caregiver. I was her reason to live. And that's a lot for a child. That's a lot for a child. I am grateful that she recognized my, I don't know, intelligence, I guess. I don't even know if that's the word. I started first grade at the age of 3 because I'm smart. You know, that harmed me. I'm sure she didn't ever anticipate it, but it did. It ruined my entire life because I never had anybody who understood what I was going through, and nobody in ever any place I was liked the fact that I was the youngest kid, and I was left to deal with rape, sexual harm, violations, and bullying, harassment, can't find words, physical violence, emotional harm, manipulation. At school, in my community, wherever I was. We're safe, dear body. I'm here with you. And I was a companion for her, truly. I was the only one constant in her life. I had, as a child, done everything. At the age of 9, I started drafting budgets. At the age of 11, I started taking care of the finances of the household. I just, counting pennies, counting every single coin, drafting, this is for the milkman, this is for rent, this is for that, this is for my schooling, this is for my etc., etc. And I would keep them in my small piggy bank kind of space where I would just hide it. so that she would never get access to it because she was never good with money. An 11-year-old taking responsibility of the entire life of raising herself and taking care of her mom in the process, because we were a unit. That is survival. And yes, it's smart, it's incredibly brilliant, and that comes out of survival. Smart. Next, I had to experience, I was taking care of 50 kids, around 50 kids, coming in and out of the house every single time. At any point in day, you would see 20 people coming in, tuitions, this, that, and my mom's intention was to have children around me, and I would be their bigger sister. And what ended up happening is that I became the care person, the adult, taking care of every single body. Because my mom wouldn't come home until later than the kids would come home, and I would be the person making everybody sit down and everybody try to, situate, get your homework started. Why are you not doing this? Why is your homework? I was barely 12 years old. And what no one ever talked about is how many times my mom tried to end her own life and end mine. I've lived through that. I've lived with that. And I've lived with the fact that my mom experienced a lot of health conditions and health issues. And she fell sick, incredibly sick. And I was there, a child, trying to figure out how the next day would go. What would that mean for my college? What would that mean for her life? What would that mean for our next meal? And my mom is very determined. She has always been. What she also is and has been is she is determined as an opposition, not, and does not know how to be determined as together, like in favor of. She's always against stuff because that's how she had to fight all her life. When someone says you can't, she'll prove you wrong. She'll do everything to prove you wrong. And when someone says, can you look inward? And I need you to stop. She cannot hear it because she does not know. When she hears a no, she hears a door she needs to break open. And the door she's breaking open right now is mine. And that door is something that I've had to build from my sweat and a lot of strength and courage that came from nothing but pure will. And what she's breaking down is my will. And when other people kept saying, I grew up, and everybody said, your mom sacrificed her life for you. Your mom sacrificed her life for you. I believed it. And I also now see it very clearly that she should not have sacrificed her life for me. Because in doing so, she harmed me incredibly a lot. Because everybody needs a life, including I do. And I shouldn't have to bear the cost of someone else's sacrifice. I shouldn't have to carry someone else's sacrifice and my safety be the cost of it. I cannot ever name two things. One is endorsing violence. I will never endorse violence. And she had done a lot for me and to me. The violence, it lives in every cell of mine. I remember the number of times I have started doing research, and I have found out a lot of things. Especially one of the brilliant things is that apparently considered not academically gifted. I am, whatever that was. Research-wise, I am considered gifted, which means that I have these traits or whatever developments that are very different from a lot of people. And one of those things is that I have incredibly accurate memory and recollection of a lot of things since I was a year and a half old. The other day I was talking about how I learned alphabet, because I was in first grade at 3. I started learning alphabet way before I was 1 and a half. And I remembered how I learned them. And I started narrating the entire story, the sequence. And I never realized I had that memory in here. I remember things. Not because I want to, but because that's how my mind and my body have been built. And I remember I was raped multiple times. I came home to tell my mom, hey, this friend of mine is harming me. She does just weird things to me. I didn't know that was harm. I didn't know what that was. I came home with pain in my abdomen. I couldn't walk properly. I didn't know who to talk to. I didn't know what to say. I said, my friend touches me and does weird things to me. And the answer I heard was, Just be grateful you have friends. And when I went with my aunt to a store to buy clothes, and this male person, the shop salesperson, was in the whatever reason of helping my mom and aunt see how my clothes fit me or suited me, held clothes like this so that they could see the clothes, and inside, under, in the behind of that clothes, touched me in ways I didn't want to, and I struggled. I kept asking him to, I kept telling them, I am done with this. Can we move on? I don't want this. Stop. And I also remember fighting to get his hands off of me while he was holding the clothes. And I can't believe no one ever even saw that, because I was struggling and they were watching it. I was never told that saying no and yelling outward and saying, hey, stop, was okay, because I was told I needed to be quiet. I needed to keep my head down and keep moving. I've had multiple sexual assaults when my mom was right next to me, when my mom was right in front of me, and she was actually talking to the person who was actually harming me while they were harming me. And I remember I came home that day after the salesperson thing, and I told my Mom, that person was touching me. How could you not have said anything? And she had a smile on her face. And she said, wow, you're growing up then. Yeah, people do those things. And that was it. That was it. If a child walks to me and tells me someone is touching them and they don't like it, even if it's not inappropriate sexual touch, any touch or any kind of interaction that my child is not okay with, that they don't feel safe in, that they do not enjoy being a part of, they don't have to be a part of. And I will stand in front of my child and say, hey, leave her alone and never do that again. And if that doesn't stop, I will make sure I hold my child and tell her, hey, that was wrong. What they did was wrong. You shouldn't have to ever let yourself be treated like that. Stand up for yourself when you are able. And always, always tell somebody and go get help. And as long as I'm alive, I will make sure to keep you safe. And when I am not around, I will make sure your environment always will continue to be safe for you. That is parenting. That is caregiving. And my mom did not play either of those roles. I had cousins and family members talk to me and say, if you keep remembering old things, you're going to be stuck in them. And here's the thing, I don't have to remember anything. I just do. And also, I'm not sitting here revisiting every single thing. I don't have time for it. I don't have cognitive capacity for it either, to be very honest. My body has learned to recognize danger. That's what bodies do. That's how they keep themselves alive. When you hear a lion roar, your body tenses and knows it's in danger. At least checks to see if the lion is not around and ensures that you're not in danger. That is your body protecting you. You don't have to memorize a million times that lion can eat me, a lion can eat me. That's just how your body responds. And so does mine. I was sexually violated 468 times in the span of 20 years of my life. Yeah, I remember every single one of them. Sometimes I can actually, if I think about them, I can feel them being actually on my body. I have been physically harmed 226. Yeah, 226 or 28 times. Sometimes I bled. Sometimes I passed out. Sometimes I dissociated. But every single time, the harm was recorded in my body. And most of those were my mom. I am not trying to paint her as a bad person, because she is not a bad person. She is not. She has harmed me. And that alone is what I'm trying to protect myself against. That's it. She has been an incredible teacher for a lot of people, incredibly kind neighbor, incredibly amazing, person to know. And she is. She really is. And to my family, especially people who actually respect her, she is one of those people who is just done a lot against all odds. And she did. That's the reason why I'm here saying there are two truths. None of them erase the other. None of them outweigh the other. They just are two truths sitting right next to each other. No one can ever see one dismiss the other. If you are choosing to dismiss one or the other, that means you're not holding full truth. I've lived all my life. I don't even know how I got through college and master's. I hated computer science. My mom wanted me to become a computer science major, software engineer. And I was like, okay. I never was asked what I wanted, so I was like, okay, cool. My mind actually can't my neurodivergence excels at many things, many problem solving, systems thinking, incredible amount of leadership, everything, right? Planning, leadership, design of systems, design of safe areas, design of so many things. What I could not ever get was writing code. I hated it every second of my life. But that was the only thing that was ever told, this is what you need to do. So I did. I can't believe I struggled a lot in college. A lot. I was the youngest, 3 years younger than most of my peers. And every single time, I was still up there. I was above average student, or maybe average student, whatever. That was because my nervous system was built to navigate things. I had to put a lot of effort to just figure out how the heck to move the next day. And I did it. I graduated college. I got a decent GRE score. I went to a university that's actually pretty freaking cool. And I got a master's in computer science out of there. I struggled every moment of that master's degree. But I also learned something incredibly valuable about myself, is I excelled at interpersonal things everywhere. When I got my first job, it became a huge space that I could make instant impact. Because I was managing things that I never realized I was capable of managing, and did code, yes, very much more managerial, very much more leadership, very much more interpersonal, and just designing systems and processes that came naturally to me. And I was recognized. What I am trying to say here is that she receives credit for educating me. I did the education. She gets credit for keeping me alive, keeping me fed. Actually, I was starved for 2 weeks as a child. I think I was 8 years old. Not intentionally, my mom tried a lot to feed me, and I saw she was at least giving me a little bit of starch that we had left, and she kept going with whatever. So yeah, none of that was out of I'm gonna be cruel to you. She's not a cruel person. She kept a roof over my head, and she gets credit for that. And I kept her going by being her punching bag, being her support, being her caregiver, being her everything. And I get that. And there's still a part of me that just is like, I wanted all my life was to take care of her, give her a better life. Because that was all I was expected out of me. Give her a better life. You gotta give your mother a better life. Gotta give your mother a better life. And that's all I wanted. All I've seen is her struggling. So I wanted to give her a better life. That's actually one of the reasons why I even came to US. And I'm truly grateful I did. Because if I had lived in the same life I was experiencing back in India, I would not have been alive. And that's not exaggeration. That is real truth. Because assaults wouldn't have stopped. They never stopped until even the day before I boarded the plane. And even every single time I visited home, because it was home, I was assaulted sexually multiple times, multiple people. Every single day of my life, truly. I would not have been alive. And here I am, for the first time in my life, building my life after I got diagnosed with PTSD in 2020, and seeing how much of my life I had every single thing that was screaming PTSD. And you know something? When I was committing suicide, when I was actually in the middle of attempting suicide, my mom walked into the room. She saw me and she said, "Oh, great. That's what I get for pouring all my life into for you. Just throw that all in the garbage." Yeah, keep doing harder. Do you want my help? And she walked away. Imagine a child. I was 15 years old at the time, or 16. I should have been taken to the hospital. I should have gotten care. I should have been diagnosed. I should have gotten support. I never did. We never talked about it. Dear body, I love you. I love you. Thank you for being my protector. Thank you for working so hard to keep us alive, to give us another day. I know they're difficult to talk about, think about. We've been through a lot. You've been through a lot. I'm proud of us, though. I'm proud of us. That's no though, because they're both real. And I'm proud of us. We made it this far. And we're building safety for ourselves. We're building safety for ourselves. A life of safety and sustainability. That's what we're building for ourselves. And we've built it. 8 months of safety and 30 years of life. We made that happen, dear body. We made that happen. We built it for ourselves. And we will guard it with everything we've got. And I am here with you and for you. We're no longer alone, dear body. I've got you and you've got me. I love you. And I'm here with you and for you. I should have gotten support. I never did. And I'm finally building a life where my safety matters, where my safety is the number one priority, as it should have been all my life. My mom is not a bad person, is not a harmful person for anybody else. Well, at least none that I am aware of. She is harmful to me because of our relationship, our dynamics, and the trauma that was caused by her, because of her, and despite her. And the fact that she never stepped in to care. No matter how distorted the stories can be, that she doesn't remember what happened, she was going through a hard time, whatever distorted way you make the stories, I have nothing to do with them anymore. If I can't land on my safety, I will not be alive for anybody who is talking about, oh, you can go back to India. Oh, you can, oh, just take your mom's call. Oh, just, talk to your mom. Your mom, my mom, and, my mom even thinking she can keep going and keep breaking down that door. Or even just the fact that she frames me as a helpless person navigating the world of chaos, which I am, but I'm not helpless. I have never been more certain about myself in my life since I've started building safety. This is the first time in my life I know what's right for me. I don't know if it's the right for everybody. I'm not everybody. And I can't be everybody. I can't be in relationships that harm me and continue to harm me because my mom has always been, and even despite the 2020, she has always been the person who would not listen to what I have to say. I remember this actually. I was just thinking about it too. I told my mom an analogy. Mom, think about how if I am bleeding out, I'm wounded and I'm bleeding out, and you're right there in that moment where I'm bleeding out of a wound and you're right there, and I'm telling you, Mom, listen, hold pressure, put pressure here. Mom, put pressure here. Mom, listen to me. Mom, you're hurting me. Can you leave the wound? Can you do this? Can you do that? I know what my body needs. Can you just listen to me? My mom would be screaming for help the entire time, never paying attention to what I'm saying. Saying, hey, hello, help, help, my daughter is in distress and I don't know what to do. Hey, help, my daughter is in distress and I don't know what to do. When I, the person in distress, is telling her, Mom, I know what to do and I know what you can do. Please do X. Please don't do Y. Please do Z. And that none of those ever get done. Why? Because she's busy screaming for help. She'd rather have me bleed out. Not because she wants me to bleed out, but because she is caught up in her own distress to ever see mine. That's been the exact thing that happened all my life. She was caught up in her own distress every single day of our life to ever see mine, even when she was harming me. And it's still the same pattern repeating itself. and I need it to stop. So, oh baby, thank you, Toffee. Oh my baby. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I love you, Toffee. Thank you, thank you. I love you, Toffee. Thank you so much. Mama is safe, okay? Mama is safe. Yeah, I'm not in distress. Yeah. Thank you for checking in with me. I know you're here with me, okay? And I know you're here for me. And I'm here with you and for you. You're safe too, okay? And Mama will make sure you're safe too. I love you. And like I said, I cannot continue being involved in a pattern. And I need it to stop. Therefore, I'm ending it. I've stopped talking to her months ago. I've told her to stop contacting me. And the reason I'm even recording this video right now is because I got a call, missed call and message and voicemail from a person from Telugu Association, Nash something, Tana, T-A-N-A, which is a very big organization for Telugu speaking people from, India or wherever they live, right? All the in America right now. And she has reached out to them saying, their message was, "Hi Harshini, this is XYZ from Thana, the organization. Your mom reached out to us saying you have not been answering her calls, and also told us that you are having a lot of health issues and need help. I want to, talk to you. Give me a call by X time or Y time so that I can communicate with your mom and find ways to, if there's anything I can do." And the moment I saw that, I was actually sleeping and I just woke up. I saw a missed call and I saw the message and I jolted up and up out of bed, sprung onto bed like sitting up, and started screaming, "Stop, stop, stop." And that is the reason why I'm here right now. Because this needs to stop. And stop means stop. It doesn't need an explanation. It doesn't need a qualifier, a quantifier. Stop means stop. I might be a worst daughter, or I might be a careless, whatever daughter. or I might be, considerate less daughter, whatever that might be. I'm not perfect. And I cannot stay in relationships and roles that cause harm to me. Period. Stop means stop. No means no. Do not just apply to sexual context. And here I am, Harshini Busi Reddy, naming this right this moment, that no matter what context it is, I have the right to say stop, and that means stop. And Mom, I love you. I need you to stop. Please don't create accounts to send me connections. LinkedIn account? Seriously. Mom, I love you, and I hope and want the best for you. Just not in my life. Please, never in my life. I am doing incredibly okay with what I have. I am in distress. I find help. I am capable, and I am incredibly strong, resilient, and if I have come this far, I can make it all the way through my life. I've lived against every single thing I've been through. You care about me. You love me. I understand and I appreciate it. Your love suffocates me. Your care comes with control. None of those are okay with me. And I need this to stop. Please do not contact anybody who might know me, who knows me, or in any way, shape, or form related to me. This is me naming it for what it is. Right now, this relationship, you and I, have ended. That's it. I am holding up the door with every inch of energy I've got, when I have barely any, and you are knocking that door down, kicking it, and I cannot. I will fight till my last breath if it means protecting my safety. And what you will be doing by breaking that door down is harm me, which is exactly what you have been doing all this time, by the way. Cause more harm. Literally stepping into harassment. You call it love, and I understand that. It is not love when you're harming someone and know that you're harming someone and keep doing it anyway. That's not care, that's cruelty. So please stop being cruel to me. Please, I understand you're caught up in your own distress, that you cannot see mine and will not see mine and refuse to see mine. I hope the best for you, and I'm going to take care of myself. Thank you for everything you've done for me. I truly mean it. You're part of the reason why I'm here right now. And I appreciate that. And you're also part of the reason why I am in the circumstances I am. And I'm dealing with it the way I can, with what I've got. Both are true, and I will not erase one for the other. This is me telling you to stop. Thank you. And if this does not stop, I will be contacting authorities. I don't know what authorities, but I will be contacting authorities to make sure that whatever cross boundary or cross country, whatever things need to happen, I will make sure that I'm protecting myself. Not because you're a bad person, not because you're harmful to anybody, because I and my body, when a lion screams or lion roars, your body jumps. When I see your name on the screen, that's what happens to my body. When I hear your voice, that's what happens to my body. When I even think of you, that's what happens to my body. I'm even talking through this whole thing. You have no idea how horribly intense and harmful it is to me and painful it is to me to navigate this right now. And I'm deciding to do it anyway, just this time, so I could stop it here and not continue that harm over and over again in my life. I'm sorry I can't give you a life, a better life that I was expected to and that you raised me for, if that was what you raised me for. If you raised me, any part of you raised me for me to be my own person, this is it. Now let go. Let go. This is me. That is you. And here's the line. It will never be allowed for you to dance with that line and ever negotiate that line, because I am naming that boundary. And I will do everything to build a life of safety and sustainability. And right now, none of this is safe or sustainable for me. Thank you.